What up, everybody? It's me, Dino Wells here, with another episode of the Dino Wells Show. Having some technical issues, but overcoming that. We're talking about sports, football. Football season is here. I'm glad about that. College about to start soon. Roll Tide, Roll Tide. Go Florida State Seminoles. Go Fighting Illini. My three favorite colleges. NFL. Pro teams. My favorite team. The Bears, always. The Bears. And my Cincinnati Bengals. And the Dallas Cowboys. My three favorite teams. In the NFL. When it comes to basketball, the Bulls, of course. And then baseball, White Sox. And hockey, the Blackhawks. And if you want to go lingerie league football, I go with my Chicago Bliss. And boxing, we're going to get on the subject of boxing right now. There's some good fights coming up. Some good fights coming up. And I had the pleasure to go check some of these fights out. Not check them out live, like seeing when they're coming up. And they got one in Japan. There's a fight card in Japan with Riku Kanu versus Kanasasuri Takayama. That's going to be an interesting fight. I think that's one of the lower weight belt fights, but that is what it is. Then you have Carlos Molina versus Carlos Groham. Now, the battle of the Carloses. I think Carlos Molina will win that one, though, actually. And that one's on August 20th. And then you have, on August 21st, you have Errol Spence Jr. versus Leonard Bundu. Now, that's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a good fight. I always said that Errol Spence Jr. is overrated, but a lot of people say he's not overrated, but I feel that he is. But that would be a good test for him as well. Robert Guerrero is fighting David Peralta, which is on August 27th in Anaheim. That's going to be a good fight. The Ghost's going to win that one, hands down. The Ghost's going to do his thing on that one. And then on the 27th, you have Jose Felix Jr. versus Robert Frankel. That's going to be a good fight. But I say that Felix Jr. is going to get that one. That's, my boy Demon Brock's supposed to be fighting. I don't know what the date or time, whatever. And I know I heard that Antonio Tarver say he has a fight coming up as well in the UK on October 8th. But it's nothing confirmed yet. So that would be interesting. His mission is to keep fighting so he can beseat George Foreman as the heavyweight champion of the world. That's what he wants. He's undefeated on his his journey right now from light heavyweight to cruiserweight to now he's in heavyweight doing his thing. He's undefeated. He hadn't been beaten yet. That one fight he had last, that was, kind of a debacle, but it is what it is. I say it was a debacle because I thought he had that fight, but it is what it is with that. So let me see, you got September 10th, you got Gennady Golovkin versus Cal Brook. Now, Triple G, it's going to be a good test for him. People always say he's overrated. A lot of people hate on Triple G or whatever the case may be. But Cal Brook is going. I know he had to step his game up and bring the heat. Can he handle the power of Triple G? And can Triple G knock out Cal Brook? That's going to be a good fight. I don't even know who to call on that one. That's going to be a good one. If Cal Brook get caught slipping, Triple G is going to win. That's just, it is what it is with that. You have Diego De La Hoya versus Luis De La Valle. Now, what caught me with this one was the De La Hoya last name, because I thought that Oscar was coming back, and I saw that it was Diego De La Hoya. I said, I wonder if they're related or not. I don't know who to call in that fight because I know neither one of them. Nah, I don't, actually. And then you have coming up next, which will be in October. I think it's in September, actually. You have this is in November. No, actually in October, we have Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko. I guess that's the rematch. And I think Vladimir wants to get wants to beat Tyson Fury's behind. Tyson Fury is an okay fighter. He's not I'm not riding at the Fury hype train. So, but he is a decent fighter. Vladimir, he reigned for all those years, him and his brother. So, I feel that Vladimir will come back and get his title back, and take Fury out of the equation. They have Manny Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas November 5th. That's going to be a good fight. I think that's going to be a tune-up fight for Manny Pacquiao to stay his claim for the rematch with Floyd Mayweather. And then what I'm really waiting on November 19th is Kovalev versus Andre Ward. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a great fight, actually. You got Kovalev and Andre Ward, them two squaring off, light heavyweights, doing their thing. Andre Ward had a tune-up fight to get ready for it. I think he should have had another tune-up fight first, but, he's going there, he's going to do his thing. Kovalev is a good fighter. He could knock out Bernard Hopkins. So, that is what it is. I feel that if I had an 8-week camp and people would take me serious and I get a few tune-up fights and knock out these little scrubs, I can get in there and I can take on Kovalev, Ward, Adonis Stevenson, and any of those chump light heavyweights because, I can do my thing. I know I'm confident in myself. I don't have all the battle wounds and all that wear and tear on my body. So I know how to fight. I'm a defensive tactician. I have good ring IQ as well. And I know how to cut the ring off. I know how to do what I need to do. I just got to get my body back in tune to being in the ring and get some of the little rust off. And I'll be ready and I could take on any of them, at 45, 46, 47. And I'll be on that same mission like, Antonio Tarver. Like, that's what my mission was in the first place. When I came back into boxing, my mission was to win a world title. Yes, I have a world title now. I have a championship belt now that was given to me because of my documentary, When the Bell Rings. I did not earn it in the ring. It's an honor to have the belt. I love it. Thank you, WBC, for the love. Thank you for, seeing my life story and things that I have going on with that. And in the documentary inspiring people and me getting in my kids' life and such forth. But at the same time, I want to go in the ring and I want to beat somebody down and state my claim in history, where that I know that I could have done, because that's what my mission was coming to this thing anyway. After Sugar Ray Robinson passed away, and I had the love of boxing so much, I wanted to go in there and I wanted to give Butch, my trainer, Butch Elliott, I wanted to give him a world title. We would have had a couple of titles together, just like he said in the documentary. We would have had a couple of titles together. And I would have defended those titles, and I would have retired, and I would have gotten into the film business after defending them. And maybe looking at these little knuckleheads doing their thing out there and come out and want to school them a little bit, then go back in retirement. Come back out again and school them again, and then come out of retirement and be that, and then just don't come out no more and just train like I'm doing now. And train kids to be the best. So, boxing, I'm very passionate when it comes to boxing. Boxing is my heart, soul, and desire. And I really do want to fight again, though, actually. There was supposed to be something coming up. I was supposed to be working on something with Montel Griffin, but that, I don't know what went down with that. That's not, it wasn't really, it didn't get off the phone. It didn't pass the phone conversation. It was just words spinning around. Let's do this, let's do that. I wanted to get in the ring with him. He has too much experience versus me being just, a professional fighter with one professional fight as opposed to all his fights. And, they wouldn't sanction a fight between me and him. We could do a charity fight. And I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I want to fight this cat. I sparred the dude. I know I can handle him. He's, I ain't saying he's nothing. He's cool, but I can handle him. It's not nothing I can't work with. He's nothing special. Yeah, I can probably get him out of there in 6 rounds, If you give me an 8-round fight with him, I have him out in 6, if or less than that, So that's just how I'm confident in me. I remember I was on one of his Facebook lives with his radio show, the Ice radio show, and he said something about, me and Tar, like I could never beat Tarver or whatever, even though I did get robbed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So whatever, you know what I'm saying? That I can take on anybody. I don't care if you tall, you fast, you got long arms. I know how to. I'll come in, cut your reach down. I'll break you down, and I'll destroy you, and that's it. People said that if you see my documentary, you see what happened, my professional debut. I was just excited just to have a pro fight after a 15-year hiatus. I was not myself in that ring. I was in a whole nother zone. I was just excited to be out there, and I could have finished that cat too. Actually, I was just so excited just to be in there working, doing what I love to do. But then I just had a lot of adversity going around me as well at the same time, But by what I am now, as I'm thinking about it, man, I want to get in there and I just want to fight. I really do. I listen to Antonio Tarver and his rants, all his rants and raving and, people not respecting him. This dude is a 5-time champion. This dude is undefeated on his comeback. He's undefeated light heavyweight, cruiserweight. Now he's in heavyweight doing his thing and nobody want to fight him. His IQ is sick. Excuse me. His ring IQ is sick. He's a southpaw. He's a monster, and he believe in his head that people are scared to fight him or whatever the case may be. But they got the little dark thing over his head right now with the situation that happened. That they trying to claim that he was doing some illegal shit to keep himself feeling young or whatever. And I believe he wasn't doing that because I know I wasn't doing anything. I'm 45 years old. I made a comeback. I made a comeback at 40. I had my pro fight at 42. And I did everything 100% natural. I don't have to take steroids, pigs, or whatever they call that shit. I don't have to do none of that. Do everything 100% natural. And I'm a vegan too, so, I'm going to be stronger than whoever. I'm going to train harder. Whoever I get in the ring with is going to feel all my pain, all my anger. Like this, in my next fight, if I get my second fight, when I get my second fight, it's gonna be totally different than the one you saw in When the Bell Rings, my documentary, my pro debut. It's gonna be totally different. All that's behind me now. You know what I mean? All that stuff is behind me, and I'm ready to go in here and show people that look. Yeah, I'm 45. I'm 46. I'm about 47. I'm not trying to be no heavyweight world champion. I'm not trying to be a cruiserweight champion. I don't want to fight those weight classes. I want to stick at 175 and do what I had to do in the 175 light heavyweight, range. And if I can get my body back down to super middle, I'll do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Just to show that, look, I can hang with anybody. I spar people, and people always commend me on my defense. People always say you're on defense, you know what I mean? Because I pride myself on my defense, especially as I'm older now. I ain't trying to get all those licks like that. You're going to catch me sometimes. You're going to catch me slipping. I'm going to get caught with a jab here and there. You know what I mean? You're going to catch my body here and there, but you're not going to throw a barrage of punches. I'm going to be a punching bag to you. That's not going to happen like that. Now, when I made my comeback in this thing now, I was like a punching bag. I was getting dinked up or whatever the case may be and getting frustrated because I didn't have it like I used to when I was younger. It was getting frustrated to the point where I wanted to quit, but I don't quit. There's no quit in my body. You know what I mean? There's no quit in my body. That being said, I'm about to play a song, and this one is called Sensual Foreplay. It's a spiritual orgasm. So check this out and let me know what you think. Yeah, everybody, that was Sensual Foreplay, Spiritual Orgasm. I wrote that one. Well, I made that one myself. They still had like 4 minutes left on that song. It's actually a love making song. I was feeling some type of way when I made that. So, when I get inspired by some things, I just make some music, and that's the track I made. I made over 140 some tracks. So, and I play them throughout my shows, so you can hear it's the music that I made. If you like them, go to Music Maker Jam and check out Dr. Trackenstein, and you'll find me right there, and you find all my tracks. You can listen to them and like them, share them, and I just do them for fun. I'm not trying to make no money off them. I'm not trying to, give them to no rappers or nothing like that. I just make music to my liking, and obviously other people like them too. So, all right, let's go back to what I was. Well, let's talk about football now. Actually, boxing. I love boxing and everything, and it's a sensitive subject to me because I really want to fight again. And take it serious, and somebody take me serious and put some money behind me and give me some tomato cans so I can knock these tomato cans out so I can start getting myself ready for these good, IQ fights. That's what I want, a good IQ chess match. I want to walk over give me some tomato cans first, get those out the way. And then, let me start working my way up so I can get to the Adonis Stevensons and get him out the way. And get to the Andre Ward and get him out the way. And then get the Kovalev. Or I take the winner of the Kovalev and Andre Ward. I wish I was in that equation. And I sit there and I do it. And I will win. And it will be good. And it will be big for the sport. You know what I mean? Because I know what I'm doing. I'm not green. I know how to fight. And I know how to defend myself. And you ain't just going to walk over me. And you ain't going to push me around in the ring. Because I'm coming in 100% in shape. I'm coming in condition. But let me get off the subject of boxing. Because like I said, I'm sensitive. It's a sensitive subject. Sensitive subject for me. I love boxing though. That's why it's tattooed on my body. Let's talk about football. I heard that Michael Vick may be getting a contract with the Eagles. Wow. Coming back, I heard there was talks about Dallas Cowboys at first. I was like, wow, you can get with Dallas, that would be sick. And then I heard the rumors say something about the New England Patriots wanting him to back up Brady. I think Michael Vick has some good stuff left in the tank. He even stated that he was faster than Cam Newton. He named some fast quarterbacks like RG3, Russell Wilson, and Colin Kaepernick. And he puts himself in the likes of them with the speed-wise. And, Cam Newton, he stated that he was faster than Cam Newton. And, he was fast back in the days. He ran a 4.340 when he came out in his rookie year. He's a 4.340, where Cam Newton was a 4.540. Michael Vick is 36 years old. Age ain't nothing but a number. If he keeping himself up and he's training himself and doing anything, he still and get his speed, then boom. Like when I ran a 4.5, 4.640 myself. The best I ever did was a 4.5. 4.51, 4.55, whatever the case may be. But I was always in the 4.6s, like 4.66, 4.6, something like that. I was always 4.6 something when I ran a 40. And then as I got older and got bigger, and I wasn't training much, my 40 time went to 4.7s, 4.8s. I remember when I played football in 2004, when I was playing semi-pro football, I ran a 4.940, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I got to get myself back in shape because I was fat. I was playing fullback. And I wanted to play running back. He switched me at running back because my agility. I was big and agile still, but I just didn't have the speed like I used to have. But when I slimmed down, like how I'm right now, I'm 205 pounds, I'll probably run maybe a 4.840 right now, maybe. I don't know if I just can judge myself. I went running yesterday, and I was tired at the last leg of the run, so I got to get myself back in shape. I'm talking about I need to get into a camp, a gym. I mean, a serious gym. Like, I'm training right now. I'm doing 2-a-days. I'm doing that right now. Yes, I am training. I'm training so when they call me, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm talking to some people to get this ready. It's nothing contracted or anything. You know, I got some feelers out there. Some promoters are looking at me. They looked at when the bell rings, and I'm just training hard and staying focused with that. You know, as I'm training my little boxer. You know. Oh, and then they give you, if you looked at the last episode, my son apologized to me about how he acted the other day. So, you know, does that make me want to still train him? He got to show initiative first. He got to show me that he want to box before I, you know, consider training him again, because I'm not going through that anymore with him. But anyway, so football. So who you think was your top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL of all time? Top 5 quarterbacks. You know, me, I would say Joe Montana, Steve Young, Warren Moon, Michael Vick, Troy Aikman. Then you want to put in, if I want to do my bottom 5, you know, I'll put in Peyton Manning, Brady, Drew Brees, you know what I mean, Russell Wilson. You know, I'll put those guys in there, you know. I got some other quarterbacks in there I want to put in there. Even might put Steve McMahon in there. You know, he was a beast quarterback to me for the Bears, you know what I mean? He was, I like Steve McMahon, actually, you know, but he's not going to, I don't think nobody will put him in the top 50 or top 25, but he'll be in my top 20, you know, because just his heart, you know, his heart alone. And he has 1 ring, so I put him in my top 20. What do you think? I know people are like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah. All right, let's go to defense. Who is the top 5 defensive players in the league right now that you, or of all time, linebackers? Who is your top linebackers in the league? I personally would say Mike Singletary. I would put him number 1 because he was a beast. Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor, Jack Lambert, Brian Urlacher, Junior Seau, rest in peace, Derek Brooks, Cornelius Bennett, beast. You know, you can put Patrick Willis in there. Let me see, Derek Thomas maybe? Jesse Tuggle. I mean, he was underrated. I'd go with Jesse Tuggle all day. You know? Man, that's my linebackers. Who will be your linebackers that you think will be your top linebackers, you know, in the league ever? I say my under 10, like the last 10, whatever it would be. I say Lance Briggs. I would say Pat Swilling, Andre Tippett. Let me think. Kevin Green, maybe. I can't remember all the linebackers. There was, because I would mix safeties with linebackers, especially. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go in there because I was about to say Steve Atwater, but no, he was a safety. Zach Thomas, I would say Zach Thomas too. And the one that they named the trophy after his name. I can't think his name right now. Something with the Brett Knock. Wait a minute, let me think about it. Don't say it. Please, y'all, do not beat me up right now. I'm trying to think how you pronounce this man's name. They got an award named after him and everything. I'm trying to figure out what's his name. Hold on a second. Let me give you a couple seconds. I'm gonna do the Jeopardy tune. Doom 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 doom. Boom, boom. Okay, I got it. I think his name was Bednarik, Chuck Bednarik. I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah, I think he's a top linebacker as well. They named an award after him, so why not? So but yeah, in running backs, of course, I would say Gale Sayers, Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. You got to put those guys in there. What's the name that played with the Rams? Eric Dickerson. Did I say his name already? Eric Dickerson was a beast too. You can't leave out Eric Dickerson. Those guys, awesome, beast. Receivers, Marvin Harrison, Jerry Rice, Lynn Swann, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know. There's a lot of receivers that you can name actually. Then if you want to talk about DBs, defensive backs, I would say you gotta go with prime time. Back in the days, prime time, and today, who would be a DB? Would you say Revis? Revis maybe, or the dude from the dude over there in Seattle, Mr. Mouth. Can't think Richard Sherman. You know what I'm saying? You can give him, but I think Revis is better than Sherman. And then you got this other cat too. I can't think of his name right now. I think he's trying to stake his claim for being a good DB. Safeties, hands down, Steve Atwater, Ronnie Lott. But Steve Atwater, hands down to me, Steve Atwater. Why defensive linemen and offensive linemen don't get the love, like they should. They give them awards and everything, but they should be getting more love, because if it wasn't for the linemen, the holes wouldn't be open for the running backs to run through, or the protection of the quarterback wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you any good linemen to name offensively nor defensively. On defense wise, I probably wouldn't say Richard Dent and William the Refrigerator Perry. Only two. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that. Marion Brock was another. I think he was a linebacker or a DB. I have a story about Marion Brock. It was a lady I date back in the days. She left me for him, and then he ended up breaking up with her anyway, because she was money hungry. She was young. I ain't gonna name her name, but her name started with a K, and we dated in the 90s, and that's when Marion played with Dallas before he went to Miami. Or it was vice versa. I can't remember which one it was, but I think he was with Dallas first. And she was from Florida. And then whenever he went to Miami, I can't remember which one it was. I think he was in Miami, went to Dallas, or Dallas went to Miami. But wherever the case may be, that was so long ago. She left me for that cat, and I was salty. I was like, damn, she left me for a football player. And at that time, I had just come out of boxing, and I was working mall security, and I'm trying to get into acting, but she just happened to, she just happened to come along the way, and she was, we used to do all that, whatever the case may be. And she was big on football, and I was trying to play semi-pro football too at the same time. Actually, I was playing semi-pro football, and I was doing good playing semi-pro football. But then she left me, like I said, for Marion Brock. And then Marion Brock, I guess, kicked her to the curb. I don't know what the reason why, whatever. I was just salty. Actually, before she left me for Marion Brock, she started dating this football player from Georgia Tech. And then he left her, and she came back to me, and I took her like a knucklehead. That's what it was. So we were talking. Her name's I'm gonna call her Kay. And we were doing our thing. Sex was off the chain, or whatever the case may be. I think it was more of a sex thing anyway. And then she left me for this kicker for Georgia Tech. And then he left her. Then she came back crying at me. Like, whatever, you should never did that. It's messed up. Whatever. And we started talking again. And then she left me for Marion Brock. I don't know how she met Marion or whatever. I don't know how they conversed or what. I don't know how all that went down. But when I know that she left me for him and he left her, she went back trying to cry back to me again. I'm like, lost your mind. No, just burn me Fool me once, shame on me or you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Something like that. Fool me once, shame on. I don't know how that saying go either. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That one, or vice versa. At the same time, there was not gonna be a third time. So I was like, no. And I hadn't heard from her ever since. You know, don't even know where she at. And I don't really care. Because that was kind of jacked up. You know, that was kind of jacked up. That whole situation. But anyway, give me a little bit of history of me. You learning the history of Dino Wells. That's, you know, you learn the history of me. Learning a lot of new things. My boxing knowledge, my boxing IQ, football, love football, you know, learned that my son apologized to me today, which felt good. I felt good that he apologized to me, you know, about time, you know, but does that mean I'm going to train him? No, I'm not. I want y'all to check out When the Bell Rings. When the Bell Rings is a boxing documentary that's about my life, my comeback into the ring. It's about... Oh, you got that soul going? You hear soul going in the background? Yeah, here we go. Mind so gone, you know you feel wrong. I'm standing right here and I'm standing real strong. Long, I gotta get it. Gotta get that paper because you know you gotta get with it. Look, I don't give a care about the silly games. I mean, gotta do what I gotta do. You know my name, Lethal Warrior. Trying to get in the ring, doing my thing. I can't help it, I'm here in New Orleans. I'm trying to go back to the West, do the thing. Ain't trying to impress. I'm trying to be the best, so I want the titles. I want to get in the ring upon arrival. Take on anybody and my rival. Come on, let me see if I can get it. And put them gloves on, let's get with it. I'ma take you out and Tony Tower. If you want to get in the ring with me, we gonna baller. Not silly. I'm dumb. Anyway, I'm not. That was off. I didn't write that. That was a freestyle. I'm not a freestyler. I like to write when I do my rapping or whatever. But at the same time, that was they got a little Soul Gun challenge going on, and I did a little mini Soul Gun challenge on my own podcast. So the world is not gonna hear it, so it's all good. But I did the Soul Gun semi Soul Gun challenge on my podcast show. Everybody, that's awesome. I'm funny. I need to really do one though and do a video and put it out there and see what kind of buzz I get from that. You know what I mean? The Soul Gun challenge. Monica. That's awesome, actually. And then I know they had a Busta Rhyme challenge out there, too. That was funny. You know, people doing a Busta Rhyme verse, that fast verse he did. You know, that was awesome to see people go ahead and kill that. I want to get some shots out. I want to shout out to my manager, Kaija. She's a very outstanding lady, you know, taking on my career. She's the second manager I ever had in my entire life. My first manager I had 3 managers. My first manager was a guy. He was, I can't remember his name for nothing. Actually, tell you the truth, because, you know, I can't think of his name right now, but he passed away though. He passed away. He had AIDS, and he passed away. And my second manager, Cammy, because she actually was working hard for me, you know, getting me doing her thing. But then she, I think, fell ill, and we didn't really, I guess we didn't part ways. We still friends and everything. Just she took on another career, took another journey. I think she started managing, working with music artists and stuff like that or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what that was all about. But Kaija, she's awesome. She's my third manager, and she's awesome. I can't say nothing bad about her. Kaija, awesome. I want to give shouts out to, you know, Trish Jackson and her family. I want to give shouts out to Brad Boris, When the Bell Rings director and producer. I want to give a shout out to Something Creative for getting it out there on the video demand platforms. I'm going to give a shout out to Metal World Peace for coming on as an executive producer and seeing my story and believing in me to get the story out there and the message. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I want to give a shout out to Lim Dunnigan, my homeboy, Jason Busey. I want to give a shout out to all my friends that I came up with. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Hardy, Leo Hardy, and the Hardy family. When I come to Chicago, I gotta see the Hardys. You know, Mr. Hardy was like a daddy. I always say this. He was like a father I never had. You know, I want to give a shout out to my moms and my pops. Gotta give a shout out to them. Yeah. Okay. Shouts out to Chris Ripka. And the name that I said I forgot, and I gotta give this ultimate shout out. His name is Mr. Riddle. I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Riddle. Sorry that I forgot your name, but you was an interview that I had to give a shout out to for you, because that was a good interview as well. Mr. Riddle, thank you for that. You know, if you listen to that podcast I did before this one, you're going to be like, how you forget my name? Mark Riddle, you know what I mean? Oh, Malcolm, excuse me. Malcolm Riddle. I said Mark. Malcolm Riddle. Malcolm Riddle, the Riddle Show. That was awesome for the interview, and I had to give my apologies to you for, not forgetting your name. You know what I mean? But I have a lot more shout outs. Nicole Snedeker. I don't know if I said her name already, but Deo. Give a shout out to her. Bosita Woodley. Gotta give a shout out to her. Lisa Thornton. Lisa Forshey. Karen Davis. Erica Holcomb. Yolanda Kelly, Barbara Wilson, Davina Howard. I gotta give a shout out to, and a major rest in peace for Bia McMain. You know, I had to give a shout out and rest in peace to her. You know, she just want to give a shout out to her. I know she's looking at me and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. But other than that, everything else is all good. Go check me out on all my video demand platforms. You go to Google Dino Wells, check me out, and you'll see me. Love you all. Enjoy. Let's chill. Let's kick it. Let's talk. You know, let's get it in there. Got to get it in there. You know what I mean? Get it in there. Get it in there. Let's talk. Let's get it in there. Do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, Google me, Dino Wells, please. Brought to you by Spreaker. Dino Wells, when the bell rings. Yeah.